do it. Fuck it, we ball.
Okay.
Welcome back to Shimeji Dissertation, our epic podcast or something. I'm Brett. This is Maria. Over there.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah. We're back.
We're chilling with a second exciting new episode of Shimeji Dissertation. Shimeji Dissertation.
Shimeji Dissertation, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, have you had a good time? What have you been reading, Maria? Let's get into our first little segment here. What you been reading lately?
I'm gonna be honest. I've been reading a lot of tax forms and a lot of. I've been learning so much about tax brackets that you wouldn't believe. The Argentinian system is kind of a nightmare, if I'm being honest. But
so I hear.
We move forward. We move forward.
Are you making it?
I am attempting to. I've been trying to get a little bit of like start reading a little bit of philosophy.
Oh, yeah.
And like get a little bit into Young that we were discussing last time. But the problem is like most online resources, they're like, I don't know, video essays or that kind of shit, just offer really shallow analysis to the point that it's just kind of pointless to search anywhere that isn't like asking for people. So there's been that. Let me see. Let me see if I downloaded something that. Not too much. For the most part, it's just been like a boring, a little bit of a boring week.
Oh, I see.
I've been catching up with Watamote.
Watamote?
Oh. That's about as highbrow as it's gotten this week.
Okay, well that's like top shelf shit right there.
Yeah. Real high, like on par with No Longer Human.
Yeah. yeah, that's the quality of literature that Watamote is.
Yeah, literature Watamote provides. It's like kind of the same thing, right? There's like a guy and he's kind of not having a good time. It's something like Watamote, it's a girl, so it's like,
yeah,
you know, it's like feminist and shit.
Watamote is a feminist masterpiece.
A feminist rewriting of No Longer Human. What have you been reading though? Anything fun?
Anything scary? Anything scary? Well, a couple of things have updated in the last week. I mean, Summer She Was There just ended, or that Kimi to Suzuru Takata, is it? Yeah. That just ended, and I have a lot of emotions over it, but it ended well. I like how it ended.
Ooh. Wait, okay.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was good. I think it hit all the points it needed to, and instead of chickening out, it really delivered on what it promised.
Yeah, unlike another manga that we were discussing that we will not name in order to not lose viewers.
It's funny because that one's like, she didn't die, but this one's like, yeah, that bitch is dead.
Yeah,
it's like,
she died for real.
That's fucked. Yeah, no, other than that, I went on a huge binge of the old school tag on Dynasty scans. Would recommend to everybody to do that at some point in their lives. I mean, I've read a lot of what is in there, but rereading some of the stuff, it's fun. It's fun to see what they were up to in
back in the day,
back in the
old
day.
times of 1980.
Yeah, it's just there was that one, what is it called? Oh, Shibuya District Maruyama neighborhood after school. That one's so tasty. I totally forgot about it. I'm like, fuck, I gotta add this one. That one, oh, it's so good, and I totally forgot about it. It's just the right amount. But then also the other old school shit it's good. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
I like Class S. It's not all Class S. Even the Class
I
S stuff
see.
is good because I love Yuri.
Your dedication to the point where you're like, I fucking love Class S
Yeah. I love being
is
baited. I love Class S. I love reading um,
it's
shoujo het
admirable.
romance for the Yuri background radiation.
I tell you, you gotta read Tomo-chan just to like get baited super hard with the
I
secondary girl.
fuck. I really will. You know what? Back when I watched fucking Toradora, you know Toradora? I got I
Mm.
I got Yuri baited by that somehow. For some reason in my brain, I was like, "Ah, these bitches are ending up together" in my brain, and I was disappointed.
How?
I don't know.
Literally?
I just like deluded myself. I was like, I don't know. This must have been when I was in high school or something. Yeah, I think it must have been like first year of high school I watched it, but yeah, no. Somehow I managed to delude myself into being like, there's gonna be Yuri
I
on
mean,
screen.
to be honest, I also had my bit of self delusion about it because um I think I mentioned you when I was like, I don't know if to you or someone else,
Mm,
probably you.
mm,
When I was reading Toradora, I was watching Toradora
mm.
as like a high schooler.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is really interesting. Yeah, okay. Um, and I didn't realize that the main characters were supposed to be like the main romance because it was like all working up. So the short girl and Taiga,
Yeah,
right?
Taiga, yeah.
So Taiga would like get involved with the guy with the glasses or something.
Mhm.
So it's like, yeah, they're having fun. That's gonna be real sad when when she eventually ends up with the guy with the glasses. And there's like this part where they're like in a race, like a snowstorm or something, and she's like she Taiga goes like, oh fuck, I love the main character, and I'm like, holy shit, where did that come from?
Toradora, the real thing that you should experience while watching Toradora is the wrong relationships happening. You should experience the wrong relationships happening and then get just jump scared by the actual ones that happen.
It's always so funny. I did not. Okay, to be fair, I probably would have gotten baited, but I did not know gay girls were like real at the time. So when she was like, "Hey, like Taiga," I was like, "Holy shit, you can like girls like as a girl? That's crazy."
That is crazy.
It
Yeah.
was like around the same time that I watched Watamotive anime, so it was like a lot for 13-year-old me. It
Mm-mm.
was like one thing after the other.
Yeah, you
Maybe if
had a
I
lot
watched
on your
them in
plate.
the if I watched them in a different order, I probably would have had the same experience as you.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have been deranged about Watamone, maybe. So, like, I think it's for the best. I think
Yeah,
it's for
it's
the
for the
best.
best that I that I ended up being a Watamote fan.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
So like, it's been kind of a week. That kind of week, you know.
That kind
We
of week. That kind of week. Well, that's what we've been reading, I guess.
yeah, and Shimeji Simulation, of
Of
course,
course.
right?
Oh, yeah, fuck.
Have you read the two chapters for
Oh,
today?
yeah, I did.
Okay, good, good. I kind of
Yeah.
forgot, so I was like reading them earlier.
Oh, no, I read them today as well.
Yeah, our masterclass preparation.
Yeah.
Um, honestly, they're moving on to the actual chapters for today,
Oh,
chapter 3 and
yeah.
4.
Let's talk about them.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like really surprised at how early on um Shimeshi Simulation starts bringing all these like topics.
Oh, yeah. It's
Like
like,
it gets on track really quick,
it does. It
despite like
does.
despite like the chill ambience and like it's moving fast. Like chapter 3, we're already talking about like the whole digging club, and then chapter 4 is like the art club. I mean, not the art club, the art class, and
art
it's like
class, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like bringing all these topics that the manga is gonna end up discussing by the end of it.
Mm. Yeah,
And it's
so
really funny.
our little summaries for these chapters. Do you want to do a summary of number 3 or number 4?
Mm, I guess I'll do number 3. No, actually, I want to do number 4 because I like that one a little more.
Okay, so my summary for number 3. Let me think. I should have prepped this. Maybe next time let's prep summaries. let's come up with like maybe like 3-sentence summaries or something.
Yeah, our little homework for each other.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my summary for chapter 3. So our girly pops, Shijima and Majima. It's Majime. I fucked up. Let me do this again. Why do I keep calling her Majima? What's up with that? Anyway,
What is up with that?
I don't know why I
Like,
keep doing that. Like I know I typed it wrong and everything. It's just
her
habit.
name is really like spelled every time that the chapter starts. Every new chapter, you get like a little pop up that's like, "This is Majime, by the way. She's her best friend."
Yeah. I don't know why I do that. Anyway, my summary.
She's even got a little sunny side up on her head.
She does. It's
Okay,
crazy.
summary.
Summary, yes. So chapter 3, the girly pops are like, fuck, we gotta be in a club or some shit. It's high school or whatever. You know, you gotta be in a club. And so they kind of like muse about that, and then they find there's a hole digging club, and decide, yep, that sounds like something doable, and so they go and join the hole digging club and meet the teacher.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Magawa. That's her name. I wrote it down. You know me and names. Not great.
Yeah, not a great pair.
No. Yeah. And she's the art teacher, I guess. New teacher, right? Isn't she a new teacher?
She started teaching like last year or so.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And she's kind of a baddie.
Kind of.
Okay, a bit of an understatement, but
baddie of the manga. Yeah. So you want to summarize chapter 4?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I thought you'd go on for a little longer, so that's why
no, that was
stopped
it.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, so for chapter 4, starts off with Mashima and Shishima going for grocery shopping because neither of them has lunch for the day.
Yeah.
Then they go back to class and fuck, now I'm the one who forgot. That's on me for laughing at you. And so Mogawa goes here and it's like, "Hi, I'm a teacher for real. I'm doing the art class. Happy to have you." And she's like, very anxious, very Mogawa. She tells the kids to do she gives them like wire to shape and tells them that to shape it into sadness, into something that resembles sadness for them. So everybody gets their own interpretation of it. Everybody has a very different design, and by the end of it, Mogawa brings them to the tree, and like behind the school, and shows them the shape it has, why it has that shape, because it's blocked by the sun, so it's blocked by the school, so it has very little sun, and wants them to remember that shape, so they understand a little more what the shape of sadness can mean. And after that, she gets a drink and goes through a little hole so she's technically not drinking in school grounds. As a responsible teacher should.
Yeah.
There are like very interesting chapters for different reasons, of course.
Yeah, and they're kind of like
chapter 3, yeah.
Well, they're of course, as since they're early chapters, they've created a lot of jumping off points that a lot of the later chapters will weave together.
Yeah. It starts proposing like very important ideas to the story. Like chapter 1 and 2 does that, but it's basically just a character introduction. 1 or 2 chapters that are just like, yeah, these are the girls that we're gonna be hanging out with. The whole digging club itself, the apathy of Shishima. I like that apathy is treated as something that you do purposefully and takes like a lot of effort to do. Because like, yeah, if like your apathy comes from a place of like, I don't know, something traumatic or something stressful happening to you, wanting to detach from it. Yeah, empathy, it does take like a lot out of you. It's like exhausting.
Yeah.
So I like that they frame the apathy club as something that takes like a significant amount of work to get there. And even as you're like, I love that guy where you're like, you have to keep on doing it even as you win. So it's pretty hard. It's cute. I love it. I love the whole chapter. It's just like there's just like some silly gags, and then Mogawa shows up, and it's like it's so fucking pointless, man. Like yeah, and then you get to like the actual Holding Club. You know, she's a very funny character because we already see kind of we thought, I don't know, the face of the pressure would be Shishima because she never went out of way, like she never left for close for like 2 years. She's only like talking to people now. She's very reserved, very shy, very energyless, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you come across Mogawa and you actually see like some really existential crisis.
Yeah, this bitch depressed.
Yeah. And it's just kind of like, it's funny that we are like on chapter 3 and we're already coming up with like absurdism and just like, I don't know, the conflict of a meaningless life, and just like Mogawa going like, it's kind of like by the end of the chapter, you know, when she talks with her sister, with Chishima talks with her sister, and her sister is like, oh yeah, we actually had a club like that, but it was called the Whole Feeling Club.
Yeah. That's great. That's good
It's
stuff.
like a really good. It's like a really good gag, but I'm pretty sure it's like a reference to the Camus Sisyphus myth.
Oh, totally, yeah.
So like, she's supposed to be making holes until she's like retires. Then someone else shows up and she's gotta fill the holes, and it's like, I read somewhere that to punish prisoners in like, I don't know if it was like some Arctic place or something, they essentially made them carve. I don't know. It was like they made them carry bricks from one place to the other, but it was just like carrying them around like from one place, and then they had to bring them back and forth. It was like one of the most torturous things to just like one of the biggest tortures we can get as people is just doing the same task without any purpose. Like,
yeah,
just bringing the bricks somewhere at least like gives a sense of fulfillment because you're like, okay, the task.
task
Then
is
you
complete. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you undo the task, and then you're told to do the task again. Just like, anyways, yeah, just like chapter 3, we're already coming across like a character going like, what is the fucking point of all of this? Just like really delusion with the lives they're living in and whatever.
Yeah.
And this has its consequences, of course. She becomes an alcoholic whose main is like reaction to having any sort of emotion is getting drunk. Like even if it's like happiness, it's like, oh yeah, we should have a drink to that. Or getting depressed, it's like, fuck, I need a drink. So it's like, uh, it's interesting because she kind of does become like a little bit of a guide for Mashima and Shishima, right?
Yeah. Yeah, especially in this
Uh,
chapter where she's just kind of like, first of all, they have to like help her out of a fucking hole that she's dug, which is very funny.
yeah,
um,
yeah, literally, yeah.
yeah. Oh, we should mention because
Mhm.
I know our viewer, whatever, a listener. I know you, the person
Our
listening to this
audience.
podcast. This is our first big wide face event in the beginning of this third chapter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All the
Don't be
Hida
so white
sketch
about it.
fans pogged.
Everybody pog.
Every
Yeah, we're so excited.
but yeah,
I like
yeah,
in chapter 4 in like the chapter cover where Mogawa also has like a really white face in comparison to the rest of the students.
yeah, it's good. Yeah. Oh, and actually, chapter 4 is our first Girls Last Tour appearance.
Yeah, our first Girls Last Tour reference.
Yeah, she's
They show
there.
up. It's them, the last tour.
Yeah, she's working at the
The
convenience store.
girls.
Or
Yeah, she's
grocery,
welcoming
whatever it is.
people.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
About chapter 3 specifically,
Mm-hmm.
something I really like is by the end of it, the Mashima bunny suit, like with the Alice in the Wonderland theme.
Oh, yeah.
I like the repurposing of holes as a symbol throughout the series,
Mm-hmm.
not being like a very unilaterally like, I don't know, pointless thing, or just like for Mogawa, for example, it's just like because of the way she sees she's been assigned this, and she doesn't find any meaning on it, and she doesn't find any meaning on it on anything in general.
Mm-hmm.
She finds the holes just like completely meaningless, just like a metaphor for life and how pointless life is, and it's just like we're living for nothing, we don't have any purpose in living, and just telling this to like a couple teenagers who are just there.
They're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I like where the holes and Magawa go from here.
oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a little after, so not too much talk on it yet, but
Yeah.
they do like a really good job on assigning these holes like a lot of value in like very different ways.
Hmm.
But I was like saying it's like later Shishima has a dream about Mashima as like uh as the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
And kind of seeing the hole, like the rabbit hole,
Hmm.
as like an opportunity for exploration, for something new, for something different. And it's funny in contrast with Mogawa's take on holes, how different she finds them.
Yeah.
Like for Shishima, it's like an opportunity for growth, for change, for
Whereas
and like
Magawa, it's just like a dead end.
yeah. So it's like her falling deeper into the rabbit hole means like she's like being led by Mashima and her enthusiasm,
Mm-hmm.
her funny ways, her silly tricks, her antics,
Yeah.
uh, and she's like having fun. It's like, oh well, whatever. But she's starting to grow on her a little more. She's willing to share things,
Yeah, and
and there's like that part. Oh wait,
I think
yeah,
the
I'll let
key
you.
difference between the two of them is like Shijima has Majime, whereas it is like very called attention to how nobody fucking comes to the hole digging club. So Magawa's
Yeah,
just been like digging holes by herself, like alone. And it's like, yeah,
it's really hard to
that would
find
fuck
meaning
you
on that
up.
on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that part in chapter 4 with Mashima starts getting really anxious about what she said to Shishima about her mother about not realizing that Shishima doesn't have a mother.
Oh yeah.
And she like pokes her a little and calms her down like that, which is like
that was
a really cute gesture of Shishima
It
for
totally
her to like.
that totally stood out to me as well. The little like poke in the face. I'm doing okay. It's fine.
Yeah, it's very wordless too, so it does have like a lot of room for interpretation. But it's ultimately just like, yeah, calm down. I'm not worried about it. You shouldn't like beat yourself up over it.
Yeah, it's very playful. It's really cute.
Yeah, so like 4 chapters in, and we're already seeing Mashima have like a significant effect on Shishima and the way she interacts with people. Whereas in like any other previous chapters, he would have just like, I don't know, let Mashima go on like her little spiral. You're just like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, a lot of it, like a lot of it is just going to be, a lot of the manga. I mean, it's just going to be the relationship between these two and the changes this brings to Shishima.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and yeah, we see that a lot on Mogawa, in that she doesn't really have that sort of influence in her life. I mean, there's like that. What's her name? The art girl.
Yeah. I don't remember her name. I haven't gotten
Well,
to her
we'll get
again
there.
yet. Yeah.
When
it'll
she shows up, we're gonna.
yeah, when
She's
she
gonna have a
shows up,
name.
we're gonna have a name for her. We're gonna be excited.
We're gonna have so much fun with her. She's honestly pretty fun.
I like her a lot.
Uh,
Like she's probably well,
yeah.
I was gonna say she's probably one of my favorite characters, which is true. But I'm like
Mm-hmm.
ranking them in my head right now. Maybe by the end of
She's not
this.
even the top 5.
Well, no, but I don't know. You know what? Okay.
Uh,
By the end of this
hmm.
podcast, we better have like a top 10 ranking of all our fave characters.
Yeah. We by the end of the podcast, we're gonna straight up like make people post their tier
Yeah.
list.
Yeah, we want your tier lists.
Yeah, we. I am usually used to like tier lists in terms of like fighting characters. So when I see like people's explanations, like I want to talk about Shishima's broken hitbox. I
Yeah.
want to talk about like Mrs. Mogawa. Like, I don't know, her fucking neutral game must probably be insane. Same with
Holy
Shishima
shit.
though. Mashime has gotta be like one of those really, really strong rushdown characters.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
like super
yeah.
cutesy.
Totally, totally.
She like rushes into you and like falls on you, and that's like one of the most busted moves in the game.
Yeah. She's gotta have an egg, like, schlap or something, you know?
Yeah, her only projectile is like her grabbing like a, spawning like a, what's it called? Like a pan out of nowhere, and she just throws a fried egg at you.
Yeah. We are going to
But
be
enough.
making the Shimeji Simulation fighting game, if no one else will.
Yeah.
I'm not making a fighting game. That sounds like a pain in the fucking ass.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
I'm
gonna boldly
I'm gonna
claim that,
know.
but I'm shutting that shit down. I'm not fucking programming. I can't program, first of all. We're not fucking making that. That sounds like too much
Yeah.
work on both of our parts. But if we did.
No, absolutely. But if we did,
If we did.
what are your thoughts? What do
Yeah.
you think would be the strongest in the cast?
Yeah. Send in who you think. Who would you main?
Who would you main? Okay, let's leave that question for the end of the episode,
Well,
because I'm gonna like definitely be thinking about it for the rest of the. I'm not gonna like answer that question on a whim. Like,
yeah, no,
it's
that's
it's a
like,
serious shit. Okay.
yeah, we gotta consider all the angles.
Yeah, exactly. But like back to chapter 3 and 4.
Yes.
I was like looking. Yeah, so she just starts talking, about how every single task is every single thing in the world is exactly the same. It's just
Yeah.
club activities only exist to exhaust you. Life only exists to exhaust you. Like, she can only see life through the perspective of like, it's not necessarily wrong, but it's just a very bleak perspective on how to interpret the world, and it's obviously like a very big philosophical question that has like existed since people have realized that if, I don't know, if God doesn't exist, then what gives us our meaning? If we're not going to heaven or hell, why are we just doing this shit, right?
Yeah, why are we suffering for all this?
Yeah, like, and Mashima does give like a kind of naive answer of like, isn't the point of, for fun, isn't doing it for fun point enough?
Yeah.
And she just gets completely ignored. But it just kind of goes back into, I don't know, the thing is that this is something that will have obviously like a lot of weight later on. It's a question that gets brought up again and again, and especially like as farther the whole digging club goes, the further this gets. So it's just like really interesting that this is the character that teaches kids about art, right?
Yeah.
She's the she's like, oh yeah, none of this shit is like it's just all fucking pointless and whatever, and then she just goes up to them and teaches them how to do art and shit.
Yeah.
It's really funny to the point Tiki Miss is doing about art in chapter 4 in particular. I love the part where they're like talking about like the music girls.
Yeah.
And first of all, they're talking like, well, it's easy to express abstract ideas with music, but expressing them physically has its own hardships. And then one of them just kind of cheats and just goes and plays the guitar with the cord with the wire.
Yeah.
And then the other one who's just like, oh, I just happen to have an oscilloscope with me today. Which is like in itself, it's just like a really good guy. And then they actually do like A minor with the oscilloscope and the wires. And then comes to Mashima and Shishima. And we were having a discussion early in the chapter where they're like, isn't it cruel to just like break something into pieces and then reshape it into the original form?
Yeah.
With the fish-shaped kamaboko.
Yeah.
And then she just goes back to that because she's like, damn, that was fucked up. Imagine if that would happen to a wire. So it's like, the part is fun, and then there's obviously the Shishima part where it's like, I'm making my mom's face. It's just making the conversation dreadful for Mashima.
like legend.
Does she look like that? I don't know. I've never saw her. I don't know what my mom looks like. That's why this is sad. She was so fucking funny for that.
She was funny for that. Jesus Christ.
So there's like those different expressions of sadness in every single one of the students. There's like that spiral of sadness or whatever.
Yeah. And
there's like
what is it, the kanji or whatever of sadness, and they do that.
Yeah.
And then there's a good couple of puns in this chapter that are pretty fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like specifically as they're talking about art, and they're showing the results. The borders of the panels start being done with wires.
Yeah.
And then they go to the tree, and she starts showing like, it's actually kind of tree that prefers light, but the building blocks the sun, so it gets few leaves, and they're all twisted because they're reaching out for the sun. And I feel like that's a good part on like, I don't know, even the most abstract concepts of that arts wants to talk about
Mm-hmm.
exists in a way in the real world. It's
Yeah.
represented somewhere, and you gotta look into reality to go into the abstract.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yes. And I think a lot of like what they pull from like while the reality has this kind of stuff, you're always going to be pulling from reality. Like so like the music girls they're pulling from what they interpret and expressing that through the wire in their own particular ways. And I think that's going to pop up more and more as we go forward,
yeah,
or especially with holding club stuff and the art club stuff. It's going to be it's some tasty stuff. I like the tree. It's cool. And it does the
yeah,
panel thing. It's awesome.
yeah. It's also just like it's how do you say? What's the shape of sadness is obviously like a very good question that invites like a lot of reflection. What does sadness look to you
Mhm.
from like a very abstract standpoint? I'm not asking like what is something sad to you? What is sadness? But
Mhm.
like it's a physical expression in a way, right?
Mhm.
Obviously there's like a couple ones that are just like funny because it's like I mean, they're teenagers. They're not everyone's gonna take the task seriously.
Yeah.
And even if they did take it seriously, it's just like for a lot of people, sadness also comes in the way of like, um, like trying to obscure it with jokes, trying to make like fun of the sadness itself. So even then, it's like a solid point. Like I don't know, doing like a mushroom pun with it is just like I don't know. I thought like I'm probably over analyzing this particular pun, but I
Uh,
thought it was like really I don't know, really good in the sense that for a lot of people, sadness is gonna be like very different how they react, what sadness comes from,
mhm. Yeah.
and
And how they react. Yeah. It's pretty good.
yeah, and then the tree itself is just like I don't know, there's like a lot to the tree because then you also start talking about the tree with the book girl, called the conceptual
Yes.
tree,
The conceptual tree.
that ties like a lot of concepts together and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I guess trees do have like some sort of weight to the story. I don't know how much, but uh,
Well,
I
luckily, you'll
I,
get
I
to
need to.
find out.
Yeah, I'm hoping to find out because I've forgotten so much about this shit, like the beginning,
Uh,
that I'm like genuinely excited to see what I'm gonna come across.
yeah.
Like I got the general beats of the story, but it's funny because there's a lot in the quiet moments on Shimeshi Simulation rather than the big ones.
Mhm.
And like part of the reason why the big parts of the story work is because they are like so built up in like small moments, especially like Shishima's and Mashima's relationship,
Mm.
where a lot of the relationship develops in those quiet moments, like the one we are talking about with like
The little
the
face
little
poke.
poke,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's really good.
where yeah, and obviously Shishima insists that the relationship is very one sided or whatever,
Yeah.
but she's also letting Mashima influence her a lot,
Yeah.
and she's kind of like little by little learning how to let other people into her life. So it's like it's very fun seeing that develop slowly. Even like a little gesture from Shishima to Mashima is like fun to see develop,
Mm.
and so I feel like chapter 4 was really fun for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
There's
It's Yuri.
uh, theory. Yeah, one could argue that Shimeshi Simulation has some Yuri moments.
Can you believe TK Miz wrote Yuri and Shimeji Simulation?
They would never.
Oh my god, they would never.
They never. And
Oh.
it goes back to that thing of like they start off by being in a relationship, and then little by little they actually start learning about each other and developing that relationship.
Yeah.
So it's like cute. Um, there's also like the end of the chapter where they go, "Oh wow, you look like an actual teacher. Like you were like if you were like if you were teaching people for real instead of like the
Oh my
pathetic mess
god.
that we know you are."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she
Which is
starts
like
drinking.
very for coma, but it's very funny in this context. Um,
Yeah, and then you see like a repurposing of uh like the whole theme motif and finding like a getaway from the reality of the high school,
mhm.
and then the director is like, "Hey, like out for a smoke," and she's like having a drink. They're like, hi, hi," and then they go without like too much of an interaction because they're both like, one of them is smoking in school grounds and the other one is like having a
Drinking.
drink in school grounds.
Yeah.
And there's like that last part of the episode where Shishima is looking at her mom wire thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
That
it's
last
the
panel.
wire mom.
The it is a wire mom. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'm just like realizing now. Um,
Yeah.
so like
Well, now I
yeah,
feel
there's the part
foolish.
that says, I mean, it's fun to talk about them for that reason because then suddenly out of nowhere you're like, fuck.
It's the wire mom. Oh
it's,
god.
it's the wire mom from Psychological Experiments. Oh my god, I'm
Oh my
such a
god.
fan.
The fucking
And then there's
celebrities
that,
shop 2 comic. Um
yeah. And then there's that part where Shishima is like, as there are things that can be communicated through shape and form, there are things that can. However, there are things that are better left unsaid. So there's like, first of all, that thing of art where you are able to express things that you wouldn't be able to express through regular conversation or through regular means.
hmm.
Sometimes some mediums are more adept for certain expressions than others. Like how they were saying that um, that music is way easier to come up with as an abstract concept.
Hmm.
Something that's really amusing to me about music is that you can listen to a song without listening to the actual lyrics, and you can kind of understand, like, if the song is like well done to an extent, you can understand more or less what goes emotionally through the whole course of the song, even if you don't really understand like what is being said, which is why, I don't know, English works were like so well received, even though people did not know the language in other countries, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and so, like, for example, an abstract expression of sadness is like a lot easier to do in music than in like sculpting. It's not that you can't do them, and the fact that trying to do that in itself is just like expressing a lot about you. Like art in general, you do something and then expresses a lot about you more than you would that or than it would express about the art itself, you know?
I think I would argue, like,
Hmm.
especially with music and stuff like that, because it's such a specific, like, she's giving such a neutral one of sadness, and with that,
Mm-hmm.
which just allows like each person to bring a different kind of sadness into each of those. So like, I don't know if like, uh, well, it is easy to make like a song that sounds sad and whatnot. Like, I think the difficulty of that would be like capturing the kind of sadness. So like with Shimeji and her wire mother, haha. Um, like she's capturing a very specific, unique kind of sadness. Whereas like the music that they do, like it is like it's a sad sounding note, or it's like that, but it isn't connected to specific like event or anything. It's just like sadness as a concept, similar to like the kanji for sadness. That is just like, there's that concept of like, you ever read one of those like Scott McCloud making comics books or whatever? He talks a lot about like how there are kind of,
I haven't, but
no, yeah, I mean, it's just like basics of fundamental like storytelling, that kind of stuff. But I pull a lot from it because I like that stuff. But anyway, he talked a lot about how like when you're drawing emotions, there are like 5 basic emotions you can pull from, of like anger, fear, sadness, happiness, and disgust. And so then by combining those, you can create specific emotions. And like, so like what we have here, and like the concept of like the representation of it, and then like transforming that into like a visual. So there's like the concept of sadness, the the ideal concept of the platonic ideal of sadness, versus like Shijima's very personalized. She's mixed in kind of her own, like there's a couple different emotions going on. It's not just pure sadness, and it's not just the pure representation of sadness. It's like kind of a sort of like a grief thing, but like it's not. It's like a detached one, because I mean it's not like she ever knew her, right? So it's like it's a very complex thing compared to like the music or like the like even the pun. It's like trying to pull from that. um I don't know. Yeah. So I think it's interesting, and it's a good like each person is gonna pull, like some people would be very direct, or some people would be very personal. I think that's interesting, how easily it's like spelled out here.
I think the other thing is like, even with music, even like classical music, you get like, I don't know, specific imagery invokes, even as it doesn't have any sort of lyrics or anything. Like, you know, Moonlight Sonata is just like, okay, I'm thinking specifically, there's like a couple classical songs that are popular that are like about moonlight, and they all sound very different, right? I don't know the other two that I'm thinking of right now because they don't come to my mind currently.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, like for example, Claire de Lune and Moonlight Sonata. They're very different songs. They both come from like the same principle of like the moonlight hitting you, like I don't know where you are, but the moonlight's hitting you, and this is how it feels for the moonlight to hit you. And there's like obviously a lot of emotional range into them. Um, so like, yeah, it's the fun thing about art is that expressing the same concept is gonna be very different for everyone, and that's just kind of what makes art so interesting. Like, learning about the world around you does make you better at art, in the sense that, I mean, better at art is a very contentious way of referring to it.
Yeah.
I do not mean that like that, but I mean like it adds like a certain depth to what you can do with art. Like if you learn about something specifically, like metaphors grow from reality, right? Like you cannot have a metaphor about a knife if you don't know what a knife is.
Yeah.
So as long as you keep learning about it, about the world around you, about reality, what is reality, and what reality can include, you start learning more and more about like how to express yourself, and I feel like that last part of the episode, that's part of the chapter, wasn't really to say like this is actually what sadness looks like. Okay, guys, you guys all fail. I'll see you in December.
Yeah.
Like it's not like her saying like, oh wow, you guys suck at this. It's just her like showing them a different interpretation of how sadness can be shaped.
Yeah.
a new one, uh, to reflect on what it means for them, what they saw. Uh, Maybe your sadness is just what you were saying. Maybe your sadness is trying to reach for light and not getting any, and your attempts to getting any sort of light is constantly distorting you and hurting you, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and so like it reflects a little, I guess, with Shishima, who's like, I don't know, like her attempts at surviving the lack of happiness is just her becoming more cynical and more apathetic, and this is like a huge effort for her
Yeah.
because it's like connecting the first and like the third and the fourth chapter, right?
Mhm.
Connecting that sense of apathy that Shishima has um, with like the tree that she was showing them is just kind of like a nice little connection, I suppose. But I was more interested in the last part of her that she was saying. However, there are things better left unsaid, which is like, you know, art is for expressing yourself, and sometimes there are things you don't want to express.
Yeah.
Uh, it's like a little, it's like an interesting takeaway from for her out of all the things that she was seeing on art. Like, I don't know, even as you learn how to express yourself, there are things that you don't want to. And I don't know, it's like a little bit of a lonely sentiment, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you don't, it's not like you can live a happy life without like keeping one or two things for yourself. You don't have to express every single thing happening through your head, but uh, yeah, just like, I don't know. There's like some sense of shared misery between Mogawa and the director, where
Mm.
they're both like not actually talking about it, but they recognize it with each other.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and
I
and it's like,
I'd be interested. I'm gonna be interested to see where this goes in future chapters.
mm,
Like this what's left unsaid kind of thing. Like,
yeah,
uh,
yeah. It's an interesting take from like, I don't know, all the chapter was working towards how to express yourself, how to, and it makes sense for Shishima at this point to be like, okay, but even so, even like after learning different ways of expressing myself, there are things that I don't want to talk about, especially
yeah.
things I don't want to talk about while looking directly at the wire mother, right?
Like, okay.
it's it's not something I paid like a lot of attention the first time around, but
Yeah.
now that I'm looking at it, I can like
It's
look away from it.
like
It's such a
insane.
funny way to
It's
it's such a funny way to end the episode, like the chapter. Like
yeah. Okay.
just drops this and moves on.
uh,
Uh, so like, I don't know. Even if there's things that you can't really communicate through shape and form or through art, I feel like it's kind of how the absence of something can like show its presence, you know. I don't know, there are some concepts that are hard to explain to the other person, like in
mm,
general, in a specific feelings, specific, I mean, high-end concepts as well. Like, I don't know, I'm not very good at thermodynamics despite uh what what one might suspect. um so like there's just like obviously some things that you can't really say, and there are some things that you don't want to say, and there are like two different categories, but that sometimes overlap. Sometimes you don't want to talk about something because it's too hard to express it. Sometimes uh, you don't want to talk about something because it's something you just cannot talk about at all. You don't have the
yeah.
language
Yeah.
uh, or like the skill to properly express it. And I think it's funny because, well, I don't think it's funny, but uh, I don't know. It's weird the way people think art and, I don't know, rationality are so in conflict with each other. Like, I think the more you learn about very abstract, difficult things to grasp, like poems, stories, whatever you want to think about, they open your mind into understanding concepts that are not easy to understand. You know, like if you open your perspective a lot thanks to art, you get to understand maybe some other high end concepts of, like, I don't know, science and physics or whatever.
Yeah.
And it goes the other way around too. If you make an, like, okay, kind of problem is, I want to say it goes the other way around because it kind of does, but there's like a lot of people in like science majors who kind of hate the arts as a concept, so it doesn't really work all that well. Which is not that they don't have the capacity for understanding, but it's just like limiting yourself to I don't know, the understanding of reality as just what it can be. It's like really limiting, and people think that the real world is only what you can like explain, which is like, I don't know. At least for me, that's not what science should be like. Like, obviously, science is an attempt to understand the world, and art is also like an attempt to understand the world. It just goes in a very different direction, and people who think like, I don't know, like people think that there's never gonna be another paradigm change ever. That
Well, I mean,
reality
that's
is, yeah,
just like the inevitability of like liberalism under capitalist.
yeah, yeah, it's true. Like, it has less to do with science itself rather and more like the system this
Yeah.
is developed.
Yeah.
Uh,
This is where we shift into our new political podcast.
yeah, which Shimeji Simulation does not have anything at all to do with politics. It's a
Oh,
friendly.
yeah. It's family
It's for the
friendly.
family.
Yeah,
Family
it's for the
friendly. Yeah.
family. Send it to your grandma.
Show it to your mom.
Show it to your mom.
Show it to your dad. Maybe he'll learn a thing or two about women.
What are you saying about my dad?
Sorry, I forgot your dad's pretty chill.
Damn. I'm
Well, I
sorry
don't
to
know.
my
The viewer's
dad.
sad. Yeah, I'm sorry too. I was gonna say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, don't worry. Don't even worry about it. About what I was going to say.
Okay, now I am. What were you gonna say to my dad?
Oh, it's fine.
Uh,
Moving on.
okay, moving on from dad. Fuck.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
So, like, I think it's. We're not there yet, obviously, so we're not gonna be able to talk about it much, but kind of the thing that gaps those two things is Shishima's sister, right?
Yeah. Well, she didn't. Well, she showed up a little bit in chapter 4, but not.
I mean, she's been
Did she?
showing up.
No, she didn't show up in chapter
Like,
4. Just chapter at
okay,
the end
yeah.
of chapter. And chapter 4 also didn't have a dream bit at the end of it.
Yeah, true. Like, not
Unlike
a
the
dream or
previous
lack
3.
thereof.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a little breakthrough in that sense,
Mhm.
where Shishima's just kind of meant to is exploring this in her own conscious world rather than processing it in her subconscious,
Yeah.
which is something that, well, it's hard to do when you're like conscious and you're like having a really hard time adapting to I don't know, some cute girl showed up and she wants to be your friend. That's gotta be a rough time.
That's like fucking psychological warfare right there.
Yeah. When you're like a shy girl that doesn't know how to talk to people, is suddenly cute girl shows up and she wants to talk to you all the time. It's a lot.
It's a lot emotionally.
Yeah, so like her first response is obviously like, indifference, apathy,
Mm-hmm.
and Mashima is not shying away from that and wants to get closer, which is like, weird for her. But also she's just like, bit by bit learning to accept that.
Yeah.
And like what I'm trying to say is that Shishima's sister then kind of like serves that function of science and I don't know, like a very what's the opposite of abstract? I'm a little bit forgetful. Like a very literal. It like a very literal interpretation of the world, and so like that's kind of like what's bridging uh this worldview of like that they have with like the sciences, and it's gonna be interesting as time goes on, seeing what her freak little mind's gonna show us, the audience and the girls.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's interesting seeing little by little how things are gonna like fit together, how they're gonna react to that. Can't wait to see more of the whole Vegan Club because
Oh,
I mean it's not like the rest of the manga. It's not good. It's just like
yeah.
I feel like it's
I
such a highlight of it.
love Holding Club. We love Hole.
We love Whole. I need like that Dorohedoro shirt like
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah, it's a good shirt.
It's a good shirt. It's gotta be like $1,000,000 or something.
I think it would.
I mean,
you could probably just get it printed.
yeah,
For like
I guess
$5.
I guess I could just like also dye it.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard can it be?
How hard could it be?
Yeah, exactly.
This is where giant arrows appear above our heads and that point to us and say clueless.
Yeah. A giant copyright billboard about to crush us both.
Yep. Completely.
You know how?
Completely clueless. Yeah. We know. Yeah. You know how it is.
What's the creator? Q of like Dorohedoro. You know how strict she is about copyright.
Oh yeah.
She's gonna get us killed. I don't think TKM's board of lawyers can get us out of this one.
Oh fuck. Wait, we have lawyers
Yeah.
from TK Miz?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we got lawyers.
We could
It's
win some pretty good court cases, I think, with TK Miz lawyers. Let's like.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're the kind of lawyers that are gonna extend the discussion for like 30 years to the point nothing can be settled and everybody just gives up. I feel like if she had lawyers, it would be. Yeah, we just gotta go every couple of days or something to like the court.
Okay.
They're like, they just extend the cases and nobody wins. It's fun.
Okay. Well, I'm down for this. Let's get into some real trouble.
Yeah. Let's get into some trouble. Let's see how far we can really go.
Yeah. Ugh. What were you saying about TK Miz and her $5 she's given us the other day? That was so fucking funny.
That if we like finish the podcast, there's gonna be less like a little extra treat.
Oh fuck. Yeah. Yeah, so that's our motivator here.
Oh yeah, she was gonna give us those erotica cups that you went to see the other day.
Oh my god! Yeah! Oh, okay, wait, no, now we have to talk about those fucking cups. Sorry, sidetracked.
Yeah.
infinitely. I found these
Pausing the
pausing the
pausing the
podcast.
podcast.
I was at there's an antique mall near me, and I go all the time. They're a little overpriced,
Mhm.
but you know it's a fucking I don't know. They got good shit sometimes. Okay, I look for
Mhm.
there's a lot of good shit, and they got a record store below downstairs, which I collect a couple. But whatever. And the point is, I found when walking around the store with my buddies, they didn't find it as funny, but that's okay. Was there's these cups, and outside of them, they had a bunch of like girls, and like they had like different costumes and outfits on. There was like a set. I think it was like a set of like 12 or something. But on the inside, so if you finish your drink, on the inside, it has them but completely naked. And I thought that was the funniest shit I'd ever seen. And so I
Yeah,
immediately
I
sent
do
it to
agree.
Maria. I was
It is
saying,
pretty tasteful.
yeah, this is the same store when my dad was looking for like nice cups or whatever. He found these great ones from Canadian Olympics. But anyway, point is, he should have bought those. I should have bought those for my.
Absolutely.
They're $70 though. So, but anyway, we're finishing.
$70 fucking. Yeah, we're
$70.
finishing this and we're gonna get that as like
Yeah, that's
our
gonna be
full
a
payment.
reward. Yeah, TK Miz is gonna do some like custom titty classes for us, I guess.
Yeah, she's gonna
Mm.
do that with like I don't know, the fucking sister and the
Uh,
Mogawa.
yeah. Yeah, it's just gonna be them on the outside, and then the inside we get our. I don't
I
know.
don't know. I regret saying that. I'm being honest.
I'm regretting it, yeah, as I'm saying it, because I'm thinking, whoever the cast would actually want on those, and the answer is like, not many.
No. Not
I
that
mean,
many.
I'm kind of good.
Yeah. I don't think I could I
TK
don't
Miz,
know,
can you get
drink.
could you get some like some art buddies who could do like big titty anime girls or something?
Yeah, can you get some friends so we can have like some cups?
Yeah, that's gonna be our
Oh my
next
god.
email to corporate. Hey TK Miz,
No,
can you get some
I think
friends so we can get better titty mugs instead of your
yeah,
characters? Because we don't want those.
yeah, I was thinking. Oh yeah, okay. There's like the girls last tour girls, so that's yeah something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like on
like
on
I think
Shimeji Simulation.
if I had those like the TK Miz characters on the cups, I think it would just be a little too existentialist for me. It wouldn't be like a
I don't know.
haha. There's nudie women on the inside of my glass. It would be like, oh fuck,
I don't think that would be a problem for
depression
me,
and
but like
reflection of the
if I
self.
was if I was drinking from the Take a Miss self-insert mug, I think I would get like food poisoning.
Yeah. Oh god.
Yeah, it's like really scary. I don't
Yeah.
I don't like taking his self-insert in the form of Shishima's sister, which is like I think we
You
gotta
don't?
we gotta talk about the elephant in the room, which is that it's really funny that Takemis was like everybody's obviously very neutral on Takemis gender because there's never been like an official statement TM,
Yeah.
but it's really funny they released their new manga and their self-insert that is like literally exactly them how they've been drawing themselves for like years, and it's just the protagonist's sister, older sister.
Yeah.
Very bold choice.
I
Very
respect it.
interesting.
I respect it. You know what? Like, what better way to do a self-insert character? How else would you do it? You know, it's like what's that one that's going on? That's like something in the blue. It
Huh?
releases every so here. Wait, let me find it because I'm gonna reference it. Otherwise, I'm finding it. It's somewhere in my reading in my library section on Manga Dex, and unfortunately, that's like 300 titles. So like, give me a minute here, okay?
Yeah, yeah. We can put a little elevator music post credits.
Yeah. Oh,
Post
here we go. Here we go. Oh, okay. Ano Koro no Ao Hashi, which is the blue star on that day. There's the fucking kind of the author self interest in the funny glasses girl that's like the roommate of one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like literally there's a part where they're like, she's like, oh, I'm in my first relationship and I don't know what to do. What is your views on love? And then the author inserts like, well, and I think it's fun in that one. Like whatever, I don't care. Like I like a good author insert every so often, but it's funny. Anyway, yeah.
No, I mean, I agree that self-inserts aren't like a bad thing in your story.
Yeah.
My favorite example is the one in Oyasumi Pum Pum, where it's fucking insane. It's like the cis guy, right?
Yeah.
It's like the cis guy
Mm.
is writing Oyasumi Pum Pum, and then he puts his self-insert,
Yeah.
and it's like this huge TD glasses girl who's right about everything. It's
Okay.
the balls of that is crazy. It's really good.
Is the Oyasumi Puntu guy like? Are we getting egg
Cisgender.
vibes? Yeah.
Um,
What is the gender
you know,
situation on that one?
Boido, the guy that made I don't know if the guy actually. I mean, they drew for the pervert. You know that comic?
No.
You don't know the pervert?
I'm so
I'm,
sorry. I should always know the
I'm
pervert.
surprised. I'm surprised.
Do I
Honestly,
know
you
the
got a lot of
pervert?
like. Uh, I'm just saying because there's like you got like trans and mutuals like a lot. I'm surprised you've never seen that around or something. It's like that furry one. The main character is like this Snoopy looking trans femme.
Oh. Oh yeah. No, I know who this is now. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So Michelle Perez is the one who actually. Holy shit!
What?
I'm like looking at the prices right now and pressing me.
Oh.
Back to my point. Boido, which is the person that did the drawing for the comic, and
Okay.
I think has also worked with some other transims, and it's like, it's on they're in Tumblr. I think they did like every once in a while they. Which one was it? I'm like thinking about it right now. There was like this post about uh with something like puppy girls hating monogamy, but then they want an owner. What's the deal with that? And then there's like a follow up with someone saying, I'm imagining now a girl with like two people like moving them around with like a leash each, and then Boydell went and like actually drew it.
Oh.
It's like on that kind of scene, I guess.
Mm.
And they actually did an interview with the Oyasumi Pum Pum guy. So
Oh my god.
how the fuck does the Oyasumi Pum Pum guy know them or anything? So
Yeah.
could be, I guess. I haven't read that demon yet, so
Yeah. No.
you tell me.
Well, Dead Demons Destruction or whatever. I mean,
Yeah,
there is like well, allegedly just a cross dresser, but she's kind of transgender, I think.
a
Just
little transgender.
yeah, there's a transgender character. I trans femme. She kind of rules. It's so and like I don't know. Yeah, like throughout it was like I don't know. Damn.
Hmm. Yeah. Anyways, I think in the topic of self-inserts, that's as good as you can get.
Mhm.
Where you're like the big TD glasses girl that is right about everything. Like, and ironically, it's just like it's such a funny way of introducing like the voice of reason to your story, and also has like a supernatural way of like getting the characters to actually talk about things that they wouldn't otherwise.
Yeah.
It's like a godly intervention where the characters will just admit to something they would never say otherwise.
Yeah.
Especially with Pum Pum, like
Mm.
Pum Pum no, Onodera.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, I guess it's also. I don't remember right now. Point is, yeah, just straight up confesses like a lot of shit to her, like out of nowhere, because she's the author self-insert.
Yeah.
It's just like a very fun tool to just like get your characters to actually talk about their issues. It's just have God show up and make them forcefully talk about their issues. I don't know if it's very good or not, but I adored it. I don't know if I had a self-insert. I'm trying to conceptualize it, but it feels weird. Like I don't know. All your characters are like part of how you view the world, how you think. So like in itself, I feel like you already have like a lot of self-inserts.
Yeah. I don't
So
know
like
though.
having
Like
hmm,
like when you're making a character, you're not always gonna be like, ah, yes, this is a part of me. Sometimes it's like you're creating a character that is like, I need the they have wants and desires that I don't have, but like I want to explore those and whatnot. And then
hmm,
having them confront your author self-insert allows those to clash and whatnot, which is interesting.
so true. That we've gotten a little off topic.
God, we sure
So
have.
so I was gonna say, if there was something that you wanted to say about the chapters before we wrap up a little.
I don't think I have anything left to say.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to talk about the earlier chapters because having the knowledge of the later ones makes it like difficult to analyze them on their own for
Yeah.
once, and for the other part, it's just like there's so much shit you can say about them, but because you're not there yet, you're like a little bit censored by the woke media.
We're
So
censored
like,
now.
yeah,
Yeah.
woke is trying to cancel us for reading Shimeji Simulation.
Yeah. This is why you have to buy our diet supplements to help fight the woke virus. That's right,
It's
everybody.
not
We're
that.
becoming grifters.
It's not that funny. I don't know why I'm laughing. Let me see what else. I don't think I got much to say.
Okay.
Like that was essentially it. I like that they're introducing the art themes. I like that they're introducing the apathy, the holding club, the whole thing about the holding club is just really good.
Yeah.
I'm like excited to get to later chapters, but also just seeing Mogawa's senpai is just
Oh.
it's great.
Yeah.
She's so cool.
Thank you, world, for
Just
Mogawa Sensei.
thank you, taking me for alcoholic women.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is funny how people like. I don't know. I feel like there's gotta be more alcoholic women in media. Like people fucking love Kikuri from
Yeah.
Bocce, you know.
They do. We
So
just.
like, and they love her so much. They had to do a fucking spin-off of like of a character that is not even like the main in like the main squad or anything. It just shows up every once in a while.
Yeah. I'm glad that we live in a lifetime where we get alcoholic woman representation in such a beautiful way.
Yeah, yeah, it's so nice. Thank you, modern manga industry, for that, and only that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was about it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Before we leave,
We got our question or
uh,
our ask
we
box.
got we got a little ask,
We got a little ask. Do you wanna?
and my
Oh,
yeah. Oh,
do you wanna read it? I can read it.
you can read it because my computer is taking a dreadfully long time to load anything. So,
Okay.
well, by the time I get there, you'll probably have like
Okay. I'm here.
already loaded.
I have it loaded. Yes. I got you. Okay. We got an ask
Okay.
from Star Eye Desper. I tell her.
Esper.
Oh, Star-eyed Esper. That makes so much more sense. God, this is where you can send me
Yeah.
like whatever roasts you want. I've given you a free pass here. Anyway, they sent, "Hi, nice here. Very rainy, very cold, and also I think I'm gonna read the whole thing as it's come out, so I can have it fresh in my mind. As someone who's never read it or Girls Last Tour, I think it's interesting how you guys talk about the unreality of the whole thing, and I can't wait to see the whole thing, how the whole thing shakes out. Us too.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised that Brazil is having really rainy and cold days because I'm like right next to Brazil and I'm like fucking dying of the heat and
Oh
the
yeah,
awful rain.
so I hear.
Like it's just like hot rain when it's just like 30 degrees out and it rains and it only makes things more humid rather than chiller.
Yeah.
I'm just this is just been my life for like a month.
Well.
So like I'm glad at least someone's getting a
Yeah.
little bit of chilling.
Yeah. Well.
As in regards to
Opposite of up here.
Yeah, opposite of up there.
Well, the snow's mostly melted, so whatever. Anyway, unreality and whatnot.
Yeah, I think like Girls Last Tour has like a more solid grasp on reality. Well,
yeah, it's just
the
like a
Shimeji is just about like expressing that like very elastic sense of reality.
Yeah.
Like just keeps stretching the definition of what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
So you got grocery stores that are regular, and then you go to school and there's a woman digging a hole for a living.
I think these more like surreal works. It's very it has some fun with it. I guess is what I'll go with here.
Yeah.
It has some fun
Is.
with it. I like this kind of like surreal shit. I read a lot of it, like because I mean a lot of sci-fi has got that.
Yeah.
I like how TK Miz does it though. It's very fun.
Yeah, I think the way she does that with her works is it's just fun, and like there's always it's very good at exploring the things she wants to say and she wants to talk about.
Yeah.
Like it's more. It's not like it's just a tool for the things that she wants to say, but she does make a lot of. She does make like a lot of use. Gets a lot of use out of them. Like out of those tools of surrealism, and also fits like really well in a story about finding in Girls Last Tour about finding meaning in reality and in
this one is
Shimeji
like
Simulation.
a more
Like
emotional.
yeah, it's got like a more emotional core, and the plot is very guided by those emotional beats rather than a very strict sense of plot and logic.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, or maybe the plot changes like completely because I don't know something bad happened to like a character rather than like the whole war went to shit. And specifically, I was thinking of like what was I thinking? I kind of lost track. Fuck. But yeah, it's good.
It's good. It's good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially that.
Yeah.
I'm glad this little podcast is getting people to read the Shimeji Simulation. I got like a couple of people who are like, "Yo, I've got no clue about what you're talking about, but maybe I'll just read it." Or like other people going, "Yeah, I'll start reading this shit so I can like maybe listen to it a little."
Okay. Well, you should. You guys should. You guys should. You guys should read it for our egos, so you can keep up with us, and we can be like, yes,
exactly.
we are so good at this. That's all we need.
Yeah, you guys gotta read it so we can like get a kick out of it and nothing else.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's good for you for another reason, then good on you. But that's not the focus here.
No, yeah, we're just here to like get an ego boost and laugh at others as we interpret media and whatnot.
Yeah, have we been laughing at others?
Oh, I don't know.
Too much.
Too much.
I mean, I guess I do it like a little passively, but
you know,
I don't think we've been
like we're getting
a little too mean for now.
No, maybe we should be meaner. Maybe people will like that kind of service. Like you know how like they always have like a character who's like, well, like who doesn't like a tsundere? Like, and who
Maybe
doesn't like a girl who's a little rude to you? You know, like,
that is very, yeah, very true.
yeah.
No, no comment. No further elaboration.
Yeah. I kind of realized that like I was the one saying this, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't keep going with this. It's a little revealing. It's almost like I kind of have a type going, and I'm aware of this, but I'm just gonna keep going. Oh well, that's fine.
Really, really good as you kept the sentence going. I was not gonna stop you at all. I had no intention. Like,
It's fine.
you dig your own grave.
Yeah, that's what I love to do. It's a hobby. It's a lifestyle. You know what? That's actually why we started this podcast, so I could just start saying shit and like just start digging. I start my own hole digging club over here. Of just
Yeah, your own one-man hole digging club.
yeah, I'm just like Magawa Sensei.
Yeah. I wait.
Wait,
You want to talk?
maybe.
You want to talk about something?
Um.
I'm here for you, man.
No, it's okay. Uh.
Anyways,
This is
uh,
yeah. So in the end,
let's wrap this up then.
that
I
was
suppose.
that was our Shimeji Dissertation episode.
Yeah, episode number 2 for those counting at home.
Yeah. Whew. Watch out. Number 3 maybe next time. Whoa boy.
Yeah, we're like a whole month ahead.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're getting crazy with it.
Oh fuck. So next we're gonna be doing another 2 chapters, I believe.
Yeah, chapter
Okay.
5 and 6.
5
Let's
and
keep
6.
up the pace.
Yeah, let's keep. Yeah, this pace has worked out well, cause especially, I think we've gotten it good. Yeah.
It gives us enough that we like get to talk a little about the chapter and then get to actually talk to each other with like the chapter in the background. So it's pretty fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll do 5, 6. Read along at home.
Yeah. God forbid, if we did more, we would actually have to start talking about the manga.
Fuck. Who wants to do that?
Yeah, who would fucking hear us talk about the manga?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
What should be our special question for people sending in questions and ask whatever? What you have to tell us about? Let's tell us about like if you've made any art lately. Like
Ooh,
yeah.
yeah.
So if you've, what have you been making? Have you seen any cool
Yeah.
trees?
Any something fun? Maybe going to like an art exhibit. Maybe you saw something cool on your dash and you were like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
And like your life was changed for like 5 minutes before you forgot about it.
Yeah. And if it's something like that, send us a link because we want to see.
Yeah.
Even if it's like I don't know. Especially if it's
even
big
if it's
titty anime girl art. We want that shit.
I was thinking of the Fallen post that's going around. Maybe that one.
Well, we already know all there is to know about that. Well, I do. But you're clearly too good for Phelan Dragon talk. Whatever.
Fine, if it's such a point of contention for you, I'll fucking reblog it.
No, it's okay. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, only for really bespoke and brave minds.
Yeah.
I guess it'll take some time.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, if you got any art thing that's kind of spoken to you a little, something you liked, something that's made you think a little, could be like a show or something that's made you rethink the way you saw, like you see things. Could be whatever.
Wow, we're giving fucking homework here.
I mean, we usually come across this kind of shit, right?
That's true.
Right? Like, I don't know. It's pretty easy. You just walk in and then you're there. essentially.
Well, anyway, you can send it either to our S box on our Tumblr, or you can send it to our email, which is Shimeji Dissertation at protonmail.com.
We got mail.
Yeah, we've got mail, and we usually record like, what? When did the episode come out? Last Wednesday. Well, whatever. Anyway, just mail it in. As soon as you hear this,
don't worry about
start typing up those
Yeah.
emails and asks. We want them, please. We're back in.
Please, for the love of God. Yeah, it's always fun to get people talking about art. So
yeah.
Well, I guess.
That was our.
Yeah, and if. Yeah. Yep, that was our. Yep.
Yep. That was our Shimeji Dissertation for this week. Thank you very much.
Episode number 2. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
See you next time, everyone.
Yeah.